Hey guys, how's it going? As you can see before you, this is Final Fantasy XIII. I was thinking of doing a playthrough of this while there's some time between now and the release of Final Fantasy Type 0. And what I kind of wanted to do was to, well, just play through it, on PC to see how it handled differently. I already played and beat this game on PlayStation 3, so I just wanted to really see what the differences were, and plus this actually came with the Japanese audio, so it's somewhat of a new experience. But basically I wanted to talk about some of the criticisms I have with this particular game series, or rather the trilogy from 13, 13-2, and I've yet to beat Lightning Returns. I never actually owned it. But when it does come out on PC, I'll definitely get it, and I will give it my commentary then. But yeah, I mean, 13 is arguably one of the, amongst fans, one of the Final Fantasies that received a lot of negative commentary, negative feedback, and a lot of that negativity comes from like guys like me who have played Final Fantasy from the very beginning. And I mean, I didn't really start at the very beginning of Final Fantasy, actually. It was at the peak of the PlayStation era. Like the very first Final Fantasy game that I actually played was Final Fantasy VIII, and I kind of went backwards from there. So I basically went from Final Fantasy VIII to Final Fantasy VII, and then I played Final Fantasy IX. And then when Anthology came out, I played Final Fantasy V and VI, and then when Chronicles came out, I played Final Fantasy IV, and that came with Chrono Trigger, so that kind of opened my eyes to all the Japanese RPGs that Square Enix had to offer at the time. But yeah, I definitely wanted to do a playthrough of this, and I definitely wanted to offer some of my commentary, on the matter as a fan, as a fan of the series as a whole. Now, I'm not saying that, the previous Final Fantasies were, like, perfect, but I feel like that there is a certain essence to the Final Fantasy name that, I think a lot of fans would agree. And without further ado, I guess let's just jump into this. Let's start a new game right now. I'll try my best to reserve my commentary to the gameplay, and not talk over the cinematics.
13日が世界の終わりの始まりだった。
本気か？
黙ってる。
頼るからな。大丈夫か？ルシじゃねえか。どうにかなるもんで。みんな戦うとよ。
貸して。 で待とう。よこせ。
おいおいおいおい、冗談じゃないぜ。たまったもんじゃねえな。どうするんだ。
そこで見てろ。
And here we are. Now my number one criticism about this game, and you can tell immediately, you can only control one character at a time. In the previous Final Fantasies, you could switch between characters, and it was definitely more advantageous to do so because each character had their own role. I do like, one of the things I did like a lot the first time I played it was the battle theme, but you will soon learn that it gets old really quickly, and I think that was actually one of the more noticeable tracks in the whole game. I mean, I'm a big fan of Nobuo Uematsu, and I know I'm probably not pronouncing his name correctly. I think it's Uematsu, Nobuo Uematsu. He was the original composer of the Final Fantasy series, at least up to, I believe, Final Fantasy X, and that's when he started splitting up a lot of his works with other composers, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but before 10, every single Final Fantasy was a soundtrack created entirely by him. At least that's what I know. And the token gun blade. To me, Squall Leonhardt would always be the gunblader of the series.
軍は抜けた。
おい待てよおい父ちゃん孤軍奮闘だえあらら道ないじゃんあったここ降りんのかよああよあえこんなとこ進めんのか
And this is the number one criticism here is the linearity. I mean, if you look at the map, it's pretty just it's just that. It's straightforward. And I gotta get used to these controls. I don't know what the controls are. So if I press escape, I quit out of the game. Oh, it's E. Sorry about that, guys. I'm so used to playing this on a controller. I also apologize for the clicking on my mechanical keyboard. I know it's pretty loud, but at this point it's pretty much unavoidable until I get another keyboard that doesn't make as much sound, but I'll try my best not to make too much noise with it. And I apologize, I keep pressing escape. This has a really weird control scheme. I don't even know how to like exit. It's like the weirdest controls I've seen ever. I guess I gotta keep pressing every button until I find out what does what. Alright, backspace. Alright, so this is better. I'm more used to this type of camera. But yeah, in terms of the game's performance, it's kind of like all over the place. I mean, normally this game was actually capped at 30 frames per second on PS3, but there's a lot of inconsistency here. I mean, I've been reading a lot of articles stating that the optimization for this game on PC was not the best. I hope they patch more of it too. And wow, the camera is kind of annoying. But yeah, the battle system is very straightforward. It's just like hack and slash. They do have this I forgot what it was called, like this break system where if you damage an enemy fast enough or with a certain element or a certain weakness, you can pretty much do like double damage. But yeah, I mean, look at the map. It's linear as all hell. Yeah, my frame rate is going like in all sorts of directions. But yeah, as a fan of the previous Final Fantasies, when I first played this, I think it was like back in 2008, I was very disappointed. You know, it's pretty much you're just going down a corridor. And essentially the game is playing itself. I'm literally just clicking away until these guys are dead. I mean, I know later on though it does get a little bit more challenging. There's a little bit more strategy involved, but you know, this is pretty much the game, and it's really disappointing. And most importantly, one of my other criticisms was you don't get any gil from any of the battles. So it's like, how do you expect to make any money in this game if, like, you know, you do all this like grinding, and it's not even just the grinding aspect of it. Like earlier on, you don't even make any experience points. Like there's no actual leveling up until like I think the second or third chapter in the game, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose of this being an RPG. The point of it is to like level up your character, to ensure your character growth. But
いくらパーシが嫌だからって素人が軍隊と戦うなんてよ。
軍よりもパルス送りを恐れたんだ。パルスは地獄だ。
地獄ね。ここもそんなに変わらんぜ。
飼いならされた軍用だ。大した敵じゃない。
あんたにとっちゃそうだろうがよ。おい。
I mean, the general consensus for me is that when they made this game, it seemed like they didn't really think about the fans as much. They were thinking of making it more accessible to non-Final Fantasy players. And you can see that in the linearity. I mean, anyone could pick up this game and play it. I mean, there was a slight learning curve, especially for me when I was playing my first Japanese RPGs. But I'm pretty sure as many people have played, you know, as many RPGs as they have, a lot of the essence of a JRPG is to level up your character, to grind a bunch of times, and to ultimately overpower yourself against the enemy. I mean, bosses are supposed to be challenging. Bosses are often a way to tell you that, hey, you're either not strong enough or too strong, and this game I didn't really feel any challenge when I was playing it. At least the first time I played it. I mean, I died a couple of times because I was trying to figure out the mechanics. Because later on, you'll see that they're different classes, like debuffers, people that buff attacks, as like your standard, you know, RPG mechanics. But yeah, even finding like treasure chests, like it's very obvious where they're hidden. Like all you have to do is look at the minimap. Wow. And the rating, I feel, didn't really play a whole big role in the whole like battle mechanics, but I think it actually affects the drop rate of certain items, like especially the rarer type items that you need for crafting. And yes, there is a crafting system involved in this game, so that does get intricate to a certain degree. But as I was saying about like chests and stuff, like, you know, it's very obvious where things are hidden. All you have to do is look on the mini map, like, oh, there's like a small little, you know, hidden alcove right here, like, for example. Like, I don't even know what these are. I mean, I guess there's their version of storage capsules. Not your typical treasure chest, so to speak. I think at the very most, like, just out of topic, my most favorite Final Fantasy in the series would have to be Final Fantasy VI. I didn't play it on the original Super Nintendo. I played it in Anthology, and I liked it a lot because when I first played it, the first time you enter that overworld, like, everything was just so, like immense. There was a lot of stuff to do, a lot of places to explore. And in terms of exploration, I found this Final Fantasy very lacking in that aspect, pretty much. But yeah, exploration is pretty much non-existent until you get to, I think, one of the later chapters where the game actually opens up and somewhat becomes open world. I wouldn't even really call it open world, it's just a large open field. But yeah, the monetary system in this game is pretty pathetic. It's like I said before, you can't even make money just by playing or fighting normal enemies. The only way that you can make money is by selling stuff.
返すか。
時間がない。
どうすんだよ。
黙ってろ。
And I know of the exploits, like fighting certain enemies repeatedly because they drop the same stuff.
おい。待ってって。置いてくな。こっちはな、ついてくしかねえんだよ。あれに乗れんじゃねえか。
I feel like I would have not have minded this game much if I played it in the original Japanese. The English dub was kind of bad, especially the voice actress that did Vanille.
よし、俺に任しときな。
I mean, it's also because of the localization. But Japanese RPGs in general kind of have like cheesy lines and one-liners and stuff like that. I mean, that's just a staple of what it is. I wasn't a real fan of the English voice actress for Lightning. She kind of sounded like emotionless. At least the Japanese voice actress had a little bit of that type of emotion in there. Oh shit. If I die, I'll show you the point. See, if your main character dies, that's it. That's the end of the game. Like, you couldn't even, like, back out and switch to Saz. It's kind of lame. I'll be honest, I was actually not aware that I was dying that bad, but yeah, if your main character falls in battle, it's game over. You can't switch to another character, and that's what irked me the most. But literally, you could play like the entire game like what I'm doing right now, just spamming. I mean, the one thing that I could kind of appreciate from this game, looking at it again, is the art style. The art style of this game was pretty good. Like, you know, I could always appreciate art in a video game, especially in a game like Final Fantasy. Oh, I'm gonna die again. Oh, wow.
認められるか。
I don't remember it being this hard. I honestly don't remember it being this hard. Maybe I'm just being really stupid. But yeah, the art style of, like, you know, the monster design, like, you know, I give them credit for trying to be a little bit different, giving it that futuristic look. Wow, I'm gonna die again. Oh, come on.
認められるか。
Alright, that's annoying. Wow. Totally forgot about the potions. But yeah, like playing this game, back to the whole artistic value, like yeah, like it looks like a really pretty game, and actually on PC, I think I noticed a little bit more details that I didn't really quite notice when I played it on PS3. Like her little belly button ring thing going on there, that little piercing of hers. Well, anyway, carrying on.
そっちじゃねえ。早く来いよ。こいつを操作できそうだな。
This is a boss battle, I believe. I'm totally digging those high-res shadows, though. I kind of feel like this was what the game was meant to look like. we go. Got him staggered, and you got that damage multiplier. Multiplier, rather. Oh wow. You actually dodged that. See, like the score, like I feel like it didn't really have any real importance to the game. I know for the hunts later on, that determined your prize.
目当ては何だ。軍事機密とかってやつか。もういいじゃねえか。軍は抜けたんだろ。話したって
パル
別に
スの。ファルシ目的はパルスのファルシだ。ついてきたのは失敗だったな。
Yeah, I feel that it definitely sounds way better with the Japanese voices. I'm sorry. I know that there are a lot of people that didn't really mind the English voices, but I feel like in, like, not just Japanese stuff, but like if you were to watch like a European film, like the European language in that film is gonna sound more natural.
私は全ての国民市民を代表して皆さんに心より感謝申し上げます。なぜなら
And here comes the other awesome protagonist,
社会の平和と安定が守られるからです。
Snow Villiers.
あなた方をパルスへ送らなければより多くの人々、つまり国軍に暮らす何千万もの人々全てがパルスの脅威にさらされることになるのです。ですから皆さんが国軍を出てパルスへ移住することによって
何が移住だよ。ここでみんな殺す気。お前はここに残れ。すみません、役に立てなくて。ここでみんなを守るんだ。おれ、お前がシャキッとしていればみんなも落ち着く。わかるだろ。はい。俺たちノラは軍隊よりも強い。そういうノリだ。
And I feel like the translations were not 100% accurate either. I will say, I mean, Troy Baker does a good job. You know, he did a good job voicing his English counterpart. And, you know, Troy Baker as a voice actor is, you know, he's a very talented individual, and I can respect him. It's just that, I don't know, I felt like the English dub here was kind of awkward. Especially with the lines he had to say, like, yeah, we have to be heroes, we have to be, like, you know, we have to be brave and strong and lead an example to these people. Yeah, when I first played this game too, I was kind of hoping like these other guys here would be in your party, but they're actually just temporary. And I'm not saying, you know, Final Fantasy has had its share of temporary party members. Most likely, like, you know, those guest type characters that only appear at certain points in the game. But I kind of hope that there would be more characters that you could select or at least have in your party. Also, another thing, Snow is a hand-to-hand type character, and the odd thing though about his weapon of choice is that it's his jacket. And I thought that was kind of weird, like why not like gloves or metal knuckles like how Tifa or Zell from Final Fantasy VIII, like that would make more sense because those are actual weapons. But the fact that his weapon is pretty much his jacket doesn't make that much sense, I think. I don't know. Right?
ああ敵だね
両大将作戦は突破してぶっ潰す
それ作戦じゃないっすそれでも勝つのがヒーローってね
Wow. Some of these lines are pretty bad though. Also notice that Snow has that grenade ability. He will lose that ability like once he learns magic. I was kind of hoping that there would be more itemization, because in the previous Final Fantasies, namely like, well, all the Final Fantasies had different items. You know, grenades. I thought that would be kind of like an expendable resource that you could use, but they just kind of used it as like a temporary alternative attack, at least in the beginning of the game. Until, of course, you get magic, then I understand it doesn't really make sense to have grenades if you have magic. It just sucks because, you know, playing the other Final Fantasies, there's a lot of itemization, a lot of stuff to collect. Even the potions too. I don't think the potions are expendable. I think that counts as like an attack. I think. I don't remember. It's been so long. But yeah, again, the linearity of the game is just really disappointing. Like literally, I'm just going from like enemy to enemy in a straight line. And I'm kind of not liking the inconsistency in my frame rate. Like, this game isn't that graphically intensive, at least I don't think it is, considering it came out on, like, you know, PS3 and 360. I mean, I'm not claiming to have, like, the best PC in the world, but I feel like this could have been optimized better. Maybe I'll lower the shadow resolution in the next video to make it more consistent, if it makes any difference.
俺らがどうにかするから道が開けたら
俺たちも手伝うぞそうだこのまま黙ってられるか
けどな
ああ頼むやらせてくれ
分かった戦えるやつは手を貸してくれ
You could obviously tell what's pre-rendered and what's not.
よしやっぱ俺もやるぞ
母さん大丈夫
ここを引けば分かったやってみるすまんもう一遍教えてくれこうなってるのか
いいのか
母は強しよ。
おう。
最後の一丁っと。
こいつは置いてく。誰か持っててくれ。
しゃはい。
Oh god. She is like one of the most annoying
いざって
characters.
時はみんなを頼む。
バーン。第一印象調子いいやつ。
ま、隠れてりゃ安全だ。ここらの敵は
I mean, I understand her character archetype. She's supposed to be like, you know, the cutesy moe type character.
に帰るぞ。
But I think they tried a little bit too hard here.
よし行くぞついてこい。
さあ急いで。
サイコムなんかに負けんじゃねえぞ。
私らに任せな。
Oh yeah, I totally forgot that you could equip stuff. So yeah, let's talk about the equipment. It's very limited. Ah, I keep doing it. I'm sorry, I keep doing it. It's backspace, not escape.
油断すんなよ。はぐれだろ。
Why do I have like so many like save games? I'll worry about that later. Oh man, I forgot what I was talking about before. But yeah, oh yeah, the equipment system, it's very limited. Like, your weapons do change, the way they look, depending on, you know, which one you have equipped. But a lot of the weapons that you get in the game are either crafted or you buy them. And you don't buy them in, like, you know, towns, you actually buy them from a terminal. Actually, the save game is the shop. Like, everything is bought from the save game, the save point, rather, I should say. And that's another thing that disappointed me, and I'm sure a lot of people, was the lack of towns, and I don't know, like, different towns, different cities. That's what made Final Fantasy such an expansive world, you know? You make a fantasy game, like, I want it to be as immersive as possible. And the lack of shops, the lack of like actual towns, the lack of exploration kind of took that immersion away, and I don't know. I guess I'm just spoiled. LeBro's, just as a side thought too, like, LeBro's, like, choice of wardrobe is, also evidence of Tetsuya Nomura's, mannerisms when he, does a character design. He always has, like, a side skirt, and he seems, I mean, he's well known for, like, maybe, oh, it's not just him, in a lot of Japanese stuff, you see this over-sexualization of these female protagonists. But that costume though. But then again, Final Fantasy always had those elaborate costumes. Oh my god, so cheesy. And notice how, like, the mom dies, but Snow is gonna survive. Damn, you gotta take that, man? Jeez. Oh yeah, I got way too many, like, save points here.
無差別攻撃じゃねえか。パルスに運ぶ前にみんな死んじまうぞ。
そういうことか。政府の狙いは危険な人間を国威から消すことだ。パージ対象者をわざわざパルスへ運ばなくても、ここで全員死ねばいい。パルスへの追放に見せかけた処刑、それがパージ政策の正体だ。
何が政策だ。そんなの政治でも何でもねえ。知ってたのかい、軍人さん。
パージの主導は政府直属のサイコムだ。警備軍は絡んでいない。
サイコムだろうと警備軍だろうと兵隊は兵隊だろう。パルスのファルシア、手先のルシは社会の敵。
And a lot of the story I never understood. I still don't understand what the story was, really. I mean, I kinda do, but a lot of the backstory was actually done through logs.
任務なら人殺しも平気か？無視かよ。
I guess he's tanking and taking all the damage. Oh yeah, and there's one big thing that they forgot. The typical battle fanfare, the victory fanfare. Da-da-da-da-na-na-na-na, was not apparent at all. And that's like a main staple too of the Final Fantasy series, like, I don't know. She looks so weird. I mean, I like her character design. Like, it definitely gives a contrast to, I guess, you know, cultural-wise, like, provided, you know, her background. She's not from, like, their society. She's, like, from another society. I'm not gonna spoil it, but, I mean, you guys probably know already what she is.
私の笑顔が好きって言ってくれたよね。本当は怖かったんだ。いつだってそうだった。
But yeah, the English voice actress for her was so annoying. This is only a little bit more bearable, I think.
ファルスのファルシってやつは政府のファルシとどう違うんだろうな。できればお近づきになりたくねえもんだがな。
飛び移るぞ。
おい
I also kind of felt like that gravity ability she had could have been a really nice game mechanic. I think at some point it was a game mechanic that they wanted to implement, but I guess due to time constraints they didn't really go through with it.
死ぬわけねえさ。
ああ
I still wonder how they survived that fall.
大将だろ。
Makes no sense. But then again, a lot of things in this game doesn't make any sense.
あの子ってどの子だよ。
受け。ふぬけた面のヒーローなんて見たかねえんだ。遺跡で待ってんだろ。未来の嫁さんがよ。早く迎えに行けっつうの。
あいつを奪う。
人使い荒い大将だ。
なんてこった。みんな無事か。邪魔すんなら無理やり通るぜ。
Alright guys, I think I'm actually gonna end it here for tonight. It's getting kind of late, but this is pretty much a prelude to a series of other videos that I'm gonna work on. I don't know why he just ran into there like an idiot. But yeah, I will post the second part soon, hopefully, and I'll try to get through this as quickly as possible. Pretty much I'm just trying to get through the game just to beat it. I don't think I'm gonna invest much in the side quests as much, maybe. I haven't decided yet, but I hope you guys enjoyed my playthrough. I'm probably gonna do some tweaks here and there to make the frame rate a little bit more consistent. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching.